Well, good evening, everybody. This is John Unell, aka John I Fly from Schuylkill Haven, Pennsylvania, and it is May 17th, 2021. I almost had to think twice about that. Sometimes I just lose track of what day it is. Well, when you're retired, that happens. You no longer have deadlines like you did when you were working. But anyway, I hope everybody had a good Monday, the start of a new week. And I just wanted to share some things. I've entitled this Interesting Days because it has been interesting days, especially last week. There's so many things that went on, I won't be able to cover them all, but how about that Republican Party? They haven't changed their stripes too much, have they? Well, I read something today that stated that the Republican Party is no longer the conservative party, it's the party of Donald J. Trump. Yep, we thought we'd get rid of him once he left office, but obviously he just won't go away. So we have to deal with what's going on and be aware of it. I always feel that to be aware and knowledgeable of something is forewarned, and it gives us an opportunity to be prepared to deal with it. So that's why I'm doing this and why there's others out there that do this. But anyway, we all know what happened with Liz Cheney, Republican from Wyoming. They voted to take her out of leadership. Minority Leader McCarthy felt that she was just annoying, I guess. Whatever was a distraction. We can't have that. We can't have somebody cutting down Donald Trump. I mean, after all, he's supposed to be the leader of the party, according to them. Elise Stefanik, I believe her name is, she replaced Liz Cheney. Now, the vote was a voice vote, so we have no idea who voted for Cheney and to get rid of her and who didn't. But they did that in a secret ballot, secret vote. And Donald Trump, of course, was backing, I believe it's Elise Stefanik. C-L-I-S-E. It's either Elise or Elise. I want to say Elise. She's a Republican from New York. Well, she filled Liz Cheney's seat. And she's a staunch Republican supporter. And she said when she was voted in her acceptance speech that, hey, Donald Trump is the leader of the party, and we've got to follow what he says. Basically, she was kissing his ass, of course. And so that's where she stands. But I like what Liz Cheney said. She goes, I'm going to do all I can to make sure that the former president never gets near the Oval Office again. And that's good to know, and I'm sure she's not the only one. There's going to be others too. Matter of fact, I heard there was supposed to be at least 100 people that are threatening to break away from the Republican Party if they don't stop their nonsense and get rid of this fringe element. I don't think they're going to get rid of the fringe element, though. So it wouldn't surprise me if they split. But, yeah, Trump is still pulling strings for the GOP, that's for sure. Now, the main question is, will Donald Trump run for 2024? And I really don't trust the Republicans because I think, and I said this, I believe I said this on the last Blue Dot in Texas live show, they're up to no good. They've got a strategy, evil as it is. They're up to no good, and they're planning ahead. And their first thing, of course, is going to be 2022. They want to take back the House. And that's why I keep saying we cannot let them take back the House. It would be a disaster. Everything that we've worked for, that President Joe Biden and the Democrats have worked for, would go right down the tube if they get in. And basically, they would pave the way for Donald Trump to come back in 2024. Now let's hope that he gets indicted. The Southern District of New York, they want to get his ass up to New York. There's things that I've been hearing about that, so let's hope that works out. Because if not, we're going to be dealing with the former orange asshole come 2024. So anyway, what's another sign of this radical right-wing Republican? Well, there's fringes. There's far-right fringes on the party, and one of them is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, for some reason, she has something against AOC. I refer to her short as AOC, but her name is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or Ocasio-Cortez. It's AOC for short. Marjorie has something with her. I know it was back in 2019 she was, I don't know how she managed to do this. She was, I guess, in the House of Representatives. She got outside Cortez's door and she's speaking through the keyhole. Imagine that. Calling her to come out and debate issues, and she needs to be a big girl and get rid of her diaper and all that nonsense. She's full of shit as far as I'm concerned. She was on committees and assignments, but they stripped her from those assignments after her menacing and inflammatory media posts. And she can be wicked. She just won't give up. She's like a brat in school that wants to bully and just keeps it up and keeps it up. And she's a big supporter of conspiracy theories, like 9/11 never happened and all that nonsense. She was yelling at AOC saying that she doesn't care for the American people. And she accused AOC of supporting terrorists and Antifa. Yes, I'm sure Marjorie really cares for the American people. No, you know who she cares for? Donald J. Trump. She'd rather support him and listen to his lies and spread his lies. So I said, Nancy Pelosi, now the Speaker of the House, the way she said the House Ethics Committee should probably investigate Greene over AOC confrontation. I may go one step better, Speaker Pelosi. You need to have it go in front of the Ethics Committee and not waste time on it, because the longer she's there harassing, she knows she can get away with it because nobody's standing up against her. This nonsense has to stop. Simple as that. So, Speaker of the House, you need to stand up there and use your authority and do what you can. Send it over to the House Ethics Committee and have them investigate it. And if they find her in violation, then punish her. However ways do it in the House. She's nothing but a distraction and pain in the ass. She's flapping her lips and making noise over nothing. I guess she wants to intimidate AOC, but AOC is not. She's not intimidated. As a matter of fact, she said in an interview the other day, I think it was to CNN, she goes, she's a sick woman. She's a mental sickness, and she needs to be evaluated or whatever. I don't know if that would help her. I think she's too far gone. But anyway. Well, what else happened? Great news, the CDC, or the Centers for Disease Control, they lifted the mandatory mask and social distancing requirement. So that's only for those who are vaccinated. So that's good news. You know, it's about time. It's been a long time, well over a year, that we've been dealing with the coronavirus. I know I went and I got my 2 vaccinations, so I still take my mask with me though because it's still recommended, and I know some businesses will probably do it too. They'll probably recommend you still wear your mask and social distancing. The grocery store that I go to local here, they have a sign up saying basically, if you're not vaccinated, you should be wearing your mask and practice social distancing. Kind of hard. I mean, you're not going to stand there, gee, at least I don't think so. It would be awkward. You know, you'd get some people that would probably flare up. But, you know, you can't sit there, oh, were you vaccinated? Do you have proof? Now, I have a card here that was marked down when I went up to Danville and I got my first and my second shots. So the dates are on the card and all, and I should carry that with me. It's a little bigger. I hate to have to bend it. I'm looking over to the refrigerator because that's where I have it. The card's a little bigger. I'd have to bend it though to get it to fit in the wallet. But it's got the records of my 2 vaccinations. So I feel much better, thank God. Just having to wait. I had to go out of my way to get the vaccinations. Now, they have them at the local CVS drugstore, and I think down the road here, Geisinger, they have it. But I didn't want to wait. I figured the quicker I get the shots in the arm, the better. My body will build up an immunity, and that's what's important. And if you didn't get your shot and you're listening to me, please go out and get your vaccination. It's so important. You're saving your life and you're saving the lives of others around you. So I see the IDF, or the Israeli Defense Force, they're having problems with Hamas. I don't know exactly. I didn't look into it. There was something about, I don't know, Israeli defense soldiers, Israeli Defense Force or whoever. I don't know if they did a raid on a mosque or they did something. And it was one of their, I'm not sure. I think it was the last day of, it was a Muslim holiday. Was it Ramadan? I want to say Ramadan. I don't know. But in any event, I think it was bad timing on Israel's part. And I think they carried out a raid or something. They went into the mosque or whatever. One thing you don't do when you're dealing with Muslim people. They have their religion, they have their boundaries, and you just can't do that. But whatever happened, it just stirred a big unrest and protest. Now, next thing you know, Hamas is sending rockets over into Tel Aviv, Israel, and there's some other town they hit. And Israel's striking back. Israel won't take it, I can tell you that right now. I mean, something has to be done. There has to be a 2-state solution. But the one side, like the Palestinians, they want to claim East Jerusalem as their capital. And Israel says, no, 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 no. Jerusalem, all of Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. And then Donald Trump didn't make matters any better because then he sat there and declared Jerusalem the capital. Put the embassy over there. It's not going to change the Palestinians' minds. Of course, they still view that as the eastern part of Jerusalem as their capital. So you have that deal, and there's probably other issues too. You know, they don't have their own air force. So Israel goes over there and rockets them at will. I mean, I see Israel's point too. You can't have rockets being flying over and killing civilians, but it just seems like it's escalating. We can't have that. So the most recent thing I heard the president say, he was talking to Netanyahu about a ceasefire, and he agrees with him. So we'll see what happens. I hope it winds down. We don't need the loss of innocent lives over disputes over land, you know, among other things. So anyway, I see our buddy Matt Gaetz may be in trouble. Why, you ask? Well, his longtime friend and associate, Joel Greenberg, he pleaded guilty to 6 federal charges today in court. Now, that's interesting. I said here he struck a deal with federal prosecutors to avoid some of the 33 federal charges that he was facing. And those charges range anywhere from identity theft to fraud and bribery allegations. Sounds like a wonderful deal, huh? 33 charges. And out of those 33 charges, he pleaded guilty to only 6. So that's what the agreement was. But Joel Greenberg has to spill the beans, because there's other men that he knows about that are accused of having sex with some of the, I don't know if they're escorts or whatever. There was one woman there that at the time she was underage. She wasn't 18 yet, she was 17. And the hope is that Matt Gaetz will be exposed. They think that he had something to do and had sex with this 17-year-old underage girl. And if he did, and Joel Greenberg brings it up, Gaetz is in a big piece of trouble. So I hope it comes out. I really hope it comes out. He's going around the country now, oh man, you know, keep America first. He just looks so important, you know. He's going out, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, the nut job, they're going out together. Now, I don't know if they went anywhere. I know I saw them in Florida, had their little meeting, and cutting down Joe Biden and what he's doing, the Democrats, what they're doing. And they love to use the word socialism, which it's not socialism. Not in the way they think it is. But anyway, it should be interesting if they spill the beans and Matt Gaetz is involved. Boy, is he going to be in a heap of trouble. He's going to be embarrassed. And they need to strip him of his committees too. Matter of fact, if he goes to jail, he'll be out of Congress. They need to find somebody else to fill his place. Anyway, that's about all I have tonight. Yeah, it's like 9:30 in the evening. I wanted to get this out. I trusted everybody had a good weekend, and this coming week here in East Central Pennsylvania was supposed to warm up really nice. My type of weather. Gonna get into the 80s. And I believe Thursday it might be 87, 88. Gonna get close to 90, so I don't like it when it gets too hot, but I'll take the 80s. I'm growing my plants here. I gotta soon get them ready to go out. I rent an apartment, so I have to put them in pots out front, but they're doing pretty good so far. Anyway, thanks for taking the time to listening in. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube. I not sure you can do that on Facebook. I know YouTube you can. Make sure you subscribe and like, and share it. Share what I have to say. I'm not the only one doing it. We have other people out there that are spreading the message. Rant and Randy, he's one, and John Bridevo from a Blue Dot in Texas is another one. And another friend, Virginia, I believe she's out in California. She does her rants. So we're trying to spread the message. We have to be alert. Oh, and by the way, tomorrow is primary elections in Pennsylvania. I don't know if there's other states that have the primary. But if you have a primary, go out and vote. And I plan on doing that tomorrow. I know there's 3 ballot questions or initiatives that they have, and I want to read them carefully. They're very important. Okay, remember, like I said, to like and subscribe and share it. Feel free to comment, too. I do read those comments. So share your comments, and I will be talking to you soon. Remember, we're still in a pandemic. It's slowly getting better. If you got your vaccination, that's good. You have a little more freedom now. I would still wear it going into like a store or indoors, especially where there's going to be a crowd of people. Never hurts. But those who aren't vaccinated, you need to be social distancing and wearing your mask because you're most vulnerable. All right, you take it easy. Have a great rest of the week, and hopefully I'll try to get on here later in the week and do another rant. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you soon. Good night.